Hello everybody, this is Sarahscopic and you're watching ScopicPeeps. It has been 2 weeks since I have done another ScopicPeeps, and I'm sure either people forgot about it, or probably wondered what the heck was going on, or had more important things in life to figure out. So, let's just get started here. I do have a tea of the day, week, whatever. I forgot the tin again. Oh, I'm just gonna go get the tin. I am today drinking cancer tea. No, smart Alex, not that kind of cancer. This is the zodiac cancer. If you can guess, that's my astrology sign. Very unfortunate word. But anyway, so this is what I'm drinking. I had to look up exactly what was in it. No, carcinogens are not in it. Thank you, smart Alex. But it says it's just, I can't really find the actual ingredients, but it just tells me it's blended with green tea, white tea, rose hips, apple pieces, chamomile flowers, Rubio's tea, natural apricot flavor, apricots, blue corn flowers, peppermint leaves, marigold flowers, and natural pear flavor. So let me see what I think, since there's peppermint in here. Hopefully it's just in smaller amounts. It doesn't really register with me. For those of you who are new to Sarahscopic, I have a weird aversion to mint. It's not fun. I don't taste the peppermint, so that's a good thing. So it's probably too small for me to taste, which is good. Yeah, I mean, I taste more of the apricot flavoring. The thing looks like there's like flowers in there. There's like little bunches of looks like flowers and like leaves that I thought was like lavender, but it's not lavender. It must be the blue corn flower, whatchamacallit. So it's not bad. It's actually a bit fruity on the fruitier side, which would make sense because it's got like pears and apricots in it. And I do like blended up pears and apricots, so I suppose that makes sense. So yeah, I think this is actually a pretty good tea considering it's a bit fruitier, but it looks like a green tea. So good job, guys. Last time I asked you if you could change the ending to any story in whatever medium you choose, what story would you choose? And here were some of your answers. The U.S. presidential election, Bernie was the Democratic nominee, took Kamala Harris or Keith Allison as his VP running mate, won in a landslide. Yay, President Bernie Sanders cries forever in a corner. That was true 2 weeks ago and is still true 2 weeks later. The story of my life. I'm gonna change the part where you get on the train. Wait, what happens when I get on a train? Is something terrible gonna happen? Is there gonna be a weird person on the train? Am I gonna die in the train? Oh gosh! Let's go on Facebook. The presidential election! Too easy. I think a lot of people seem to agree with you on that one. The original Mass Effect trilogy, particularly the third game. Even the extended cut didn't completely mitigate that the endgame was entirely antithetical to the themes that had been built up for the entire rest of the franchise to that point. Yes, a million times yes. For those who don't know, I am a huge fan of the Mass Effect series. I played all 3 games and I love them. And I was also extremely disappointed with the ending, like pretty much the rest of society. I luckily didn't have to play it when it first came out. I wasn't able to play it right away. So I played it after like the extended cut came out, and so I at least didn't have it as bad. But when, he says, I can't say that, but antithetical, yeah, absolutely accurate. I don't want to spoil things, but that was my biggest problem. Like, you had all these themes building up the third game. So the third game itself was actually wonderful, and then the ending, like literally the last 10 minutes, you're like, what? How? 2 different writers wrote this. That's just kind of what happened anyway. Captain America Civil War. I'm not sure which one you mean. Do you mean the movie or do you mean the comics? I'm not super familiar with the comics, I just know the movie. I will agree with the movie. I was rather surprised with how it ended. Spoilers allowed? It's been out for a while, right? There's gonna be spoilers for Captain America Civil War, the movie. Nobody really dies in Captain America Civil War, which isn't really that big of a deal, but like they really set it up where I thought Tony should have died. And it really surprised me that he didn't. I was legitimately surprised. It seemed like that was the point they were going for, and then they just didn't do it. Which would have been kind of cool, because in the comics, if I remember correctly, Captain America died, so it would have been kind of an interesting switch, but nobody dies, so... I'm not gonna get into a whole thing of, like, Marvel movies, let's nobody die. Whatever, like, that's not an argument I'm gonna get into, it's just... I don't know. It was weird. Fall of Gondolin. I wish I had something more intelligent to say, but I'm afraid I do not know that story very well. Or at all. I don't think. Not so much because it was bad, as much as that it took so long and didn't make a whole lot of sense. The second ending to Ni no Kuni, it would have worked as a short game or some addition or something for the, hey, you beat the game, now explore, versus, oh, let's put this weird snow crap on everyone and now run around confused and rush this ending that would have taken longer and maybe should be its own game. I've heard of this game. I've never played it. I've been told I should play it. But yes, if I knew the ending, I would also agree with you. This is a hard question because I don't know half these stories. Final Fantasy 15. I know that this particular person who feels this way, I know exactly who this is, and I hear you from what I've heard. I'm very sorry. I hear it was kind of another Mass Effect thing where it was like, it seemed really great, and then just went, boom, what? The Mozart Requiem. Who knows what Dona Nobis he would have composed had he lived? Oh man, that is a sad story. They had to, I forget who finished the Mozart Requiem, but yeah. We'll never know. We'll just never know. That's the sad part whenever an author or musician or whoever dies before completing their work. Fallout 3! I'm afraid I don't know because I also never finished that game, but you may not be the only one. Lucid 9! For those of you who don't know, I feel like I've said this like 10 million times, but I was part on the team. I was an editor, but I helped with the writing and such and everything and stuff, development of Lucid 9, which is a free visual novel. You should check it out on Steam. We are working on the next part of it. Right now, like the first part, like Common Right, is out. I'm not going to spoil it, but I just want to have you know that the ending of what you can play right now, pretty much like no one is happy about it. Like on the team, nobody's happy about it except for like 2 people. Just to let you know, only like 2 people are happy about that ending. But we couldn't change it, so... Firefly! The fact that it was forced to end. Oh. Clone Wars TV show because it was canceled way too early and there were so many more stories to tell. That is always the problem. It's like, they're canceled too early, so there's technically an ending. There's just no more ending. There's just no more story! Now for my answer to this question. Ooh, this is a toughie. Mass Effect 3 is one good one, I would definitely say, just because like it was a game that really tugged at my heartstrings, and so the ending was just like, really kind of thing. Like it was just kind of like it just kind of spoiled it a little bit for me, so that definitely is up there. But I'm trying to think of something that hasn't been mentioned yet. It's also hard because if you'd asked me this question several months ago, maybe even a year ago, I would have also put Young Justice on this list, but now it's actually coming back out of hiatus and is getting a season 3, which is a little terrifying too, because it's had so much hype over the years that like no one's gonna be happy with what happens in season 3. Like it's the vision that I'm sure the writer has a vision for it, and it'll probably be good, but I think like it's gotten so much hype. It's one of those things that I always feel like whenever anything gets canceled, it's sad, but it needs to almost kind of stay canceled, because if you try to revive it, nobody's like happy, because there's always that long time where like of build up of like, oh, this is what it could look like, and now and then when it comes out, like it just falls short of everyone's expectations. And so I'm usually pretty forgiving on that kind of stuff, but yeah, Young Justice would have definitely been on the list had it not arisen from hiatus. I think about other TV shows too that get probably put on hiatus for a while, and then like I don't know, it all of a sudden like there's just so much hype for it. Like I remember the Sarahscopic series, one of my other favorite trilogies. The 3rd game was on hiatus for a while, and we thought it would never see the light of day, and then it came out, and I played it pretty much all in like 2 days. And I liked it. I definitely liked it, but I knew it was extremely unpopular with the fans. People did not like it. And again, it was just because there was so much hype about it that it just, even though it was pretty much the original vision of the writer, it just fell short of people's expectations because it was so built up, and it happens for so many things. I mean, I've been also watching Miraculous Ladybug because I need something joyous in my life, and that's another one where like the show itself is like, it's okay, it's cute and it's sappy and it makes you like smile all day, but there's so much hype for it for like the 2nd season and the 3rd season. I don't know, I think it's gonna fall really short, especially since the 1st season honestly is like okay. So if it just is similar quality in the 2nd and 3rd seasons, like no one's gonna be happy. So I don't know, this is such a weird question. I gave some answers, but I'm not sure if I could really like stick to any of them. It's hard because for me, I'm just like, oh, this story, you know, this is how it ends, okay. There is one book that I read that no one has ever heard of, but I'm gonna mention it because it gave me the same feeling as like Mass Effect 3. There is this story I read when I was a girl. When I was younger is what I meant to say. When I was younger, called Water Shaper. Gorgeous book. I loved every minute of it. It was just very relaxing. I loved the story, and I loved the themes. And the ending was very much just, and we escaped, and who knows what the future will bring. And the reason it made me upset was because it told from two different perspectives, and they kind of intertwined, but not really till the end, the two characters. And so the ending was just kind of like, oh, they met up. Now they're gonna go on a happy journey together, like, and that's all it was. There was no real build-up between the two of them, and it was very unsatisfying for me, but the rest of the story was gorgeous, so, I mean, I don't know. That was a reference that nobody understands, so I think I'm just gonna move along to another question. My question I have for you is... So this isn't a question, which means I probably shouldn't have said next question I have for you is, but just give me a picture of a cute animal. That's it. Just link me a picture to a cute animal. If you're able to get rid of the preview, that's even better. But yeah, just give me a picture of a cute animal. I will rate it on cuteness. It will probably be all over 10. Just to let you know. That's it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope something amazing happens to you. Without further ado, I hope to see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye!